Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Coach Barikoff joins, as he does each and every Sunday that he has time to join. Coach, there's this song, I don't know who sings it. I think it's the name of this song, but it's been coming to my mind. About damn time, right? About damn time the Dodgers won a freaking game on this road trip, right?
Yeah, how crazy it was. Listen, I'll lead off with this. I heard a stat today during the game that, since 1969, the Dodgers have never gone winless on a road trip before.
Yeah.
So we were looking to make history all over the place, it looks like.
Yeah. Boy, Clayton Kershaw, not just a great pitcher, the stopper. Yoshinobu Yamamoto did everything he could yesterday. We'll get into some of those decisions late in the game yesterday, but I say this every single time we come on the air by Clayton Kershaw. I am thoroughly embarrassed that I am surprised that every single time he goes out there and does what he did today. Now, today wasn't perfect or anything, but it still was very good.
Yeah, it just worked out perfectly, right? That we needed him to win this game and throw a good game after what happened. And sure enough, Kershaw is defying all the odds and throws a really good game and gets the Dodgers in a place where, they can win the game. And that's what a Hall of Famer does. He's our stopper. He was great today. It wasn't perfect, but we needed him. We needed that powerful figure of Clayton Kershaw on the mound after, let's just be honest, an embarrassing loss the night before.
Oh, gut-wrenching. It was a kick in the groin. That was a horrendous loss. That was rock bottom last night. And I'll tell you, just watching Blake Treinen's post-game, Blake Treinen's a stud. I've had a chance to talk to him. He's a stud human being. He's a stud player. He is in the Dodgers Daily Hall of Fame for the work he did in the World Series run last year. He just crapped the bed yesterday, and he would be the first one to tell you that. He was the first one to say that. And the thing about it was heartbreaking because you could tell it affected him worse than it affected any of us. He felt so bad for letting down that situation last night. That was a rough thing to watch in the game, and it was even more rough to watch the reaction of Blake Treinen.
Yeah, and I think he was, I think he was so disappointed in what happened for Yamamoto.
Yes.
You don't want to let down your starting pitcher, and I love social media and the fans. It's like the Dodgers, I think, are doing it to us. They're not doing it to us. They're human beings. They want to win these games, and it's not like they're enjoying losing. And I can just see it on Treinen's face. He looked like, please let me just get out of this stadium and please don't let me have to be looked at going off the mound. I think he was so heartbroken and embarrassed for what happened. I think he just felt like he let the whole world down.
He did, and he felt terrible about that, But hey, man, he's in the Dodgers Daily Hall of Fame. It sucked what happened. But I felt bad for him. I was disappointed for him and not in him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's a big difference between those two.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Yeah, and he's been really looking good too of late. Even Orel Hershiser was talking about it today. He was looking good. This is one of those. This is like a bad outing that he we say. Oh man, that was tough. I don't even have a lot to say. It was so tough.
So the bullpen has been the focus. We got into the Blake Treinen deal. So here's the deal, Coach. All right, so there's track records as far as big picture goes, like career-long track records, like Tanner Scott's been one of the best relievers in the last couple of years. Blake Treinen has a career track record. So there's career track records. Then there's the track record that Jack Dreyer and Justin Robleski have put together, which they've substantially been the better pitchers this year. Since about the first month, about the first 4 outings for Justin Robleski, he's got an ERA around 3. Jack Dreyer has been awesome all year. So we're both coaches. This is kind of a fight in our own minds. It's one of those deals. It's goes back to, do you play the freshman or the senior if they're equal, that kind of deal. So I understand where Dave is trying to go with the career track record over the year-long track record, and also to where he's trying to create a situation to where, Tanner Scott's struggling, Blake Treinen's struggling, but I think the best version of this Dodgers team has those two pitchers pitching well.
Yeah, you're touching on an interesting conversation because I didn't really. I was probably one of those fans where I was saying we're really going back to Tanner Scott again. Like
Yes.
I want to say I trust him as a fan. I want to say I trust him, but and then you listen to Oral talk today about resumes and having them ready in the long run. As a coach, I looked at that and said, I think the long run is kind of over. We're down to what 20-something games. They haven't been performing well. You have guys that are performing well. It's the same. I could reverse that coaching technique and say, well, let's see what these two young guys do in a big situation. If you're going to trust on guys that aren't throwing the ball well right now, trust on the guys that are. Let's see what they can do in a big situation. And I will never, in case you know me well enough, I'm never going to doubt Dave Roberts and what they're doing because I don't know what goes on in that clubhouse or in their meetings. But it was one of those things last night where I said to myself, man, I would rather go with these young guys and let Tanner Scott get over a little bit of this stuff. But you know what? Sure enough, he threw him right out there. And you correct me, you're the baseball coach. That pitch that they got that hit on, that was not a bad pitch to me. That thing was low. He had to go and get it. So there was this weird part of me that I wasn't terribly crazy mad at Tanner Scott. That was not a bad pitch. It just so happened that guy hit it.
But the Dodgers gave the Orioles so much momentum that you're not surprised when that happened because it just felt like that's how that was supposed to end because the Dodgers just gave them that game. It's kind of how it felt to me.
I was so excited. I was so excited and I'm going to finally get to see another no-hitter. That's hard to see. And then the way it ended, I just turned it off and I was like, all right, I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't even check social media. I made a post and then I just left it alone. I didn't want to deal with it.
Great post, by the way. Great post.
Yeah, listen, you can make fun of me. And a lot of people think I'm just I'm on another planet on some of this stuff. But until the Dodgers make the final out and get eliminated, I'll never stop believing in this team.
Sure.
I've been saying it all season long. There's something odd about this team. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're going to break our hearts in the playoffs. Who knows, Casey? They might not even make the playoffs if they continue having this stretch. But I'm just that fan that never gives up until the final out of the season. And but it's all. I'm glad we got the win today. What a good win. They can get on the airplane, feel good about themselves. I don't know if they're feeling good about themselves, but it's better than having a loss.
Better, yeah, absolutely better. And you found some solutions. I think Justin Robleski. I mean, I don't think it was a secret, but I think the way things have been going, what Justin Robleski and Jack Dreyer did today, in a kind of a weird way, because you saw two veterans not get it done last night. Yeah. You've seen this losing streak. Then you saw two rookies stop that shit, right? So you're like, okay, I trust those guys now. So in a weird way, I think what you got out of this weekend was that Dodgers fans and Dave even used this word, I think Wrobo and the Maytag jumped way up the ladder in terms of the trust tree. So I do think you got that out of it.
Yes. And I think he went to them knowing okay, well, listen, here's it. Let's just see what happens. And you know what? They came through. Yeah. Because if I'm Dave Roberts, if you lose again, okay. I mean, you're tied for the division lead. You've got 6 games with the Giants still to go. You've got the Phillies coming in, but I think he just said okay, it's time. Let's see what they're going to do, and it worked. And I'm pumped that it did because that's the last thing I think as Dodger Daily fans we wanted is those guys to come in and give up a lead, and then the whole Dodger world's going to go nuts. And it felt good to see that today.
It absolutely did. So we can harp on the bullpen and all of that. Bottom line is this team has to start playing offense the way it's capable. So coming into today, the Dodgers had scored just 18 runs in the last 6 games. So we can be pissed at Dave. I'm not going to push back if you think that he should not have went to Tanner Scott. I'm not going to push back. I'm not going to defend him for leaving Blake Treinen in too long. I'm not going to defend that. But what I am going to say to that is the Dodgers have coming into today, had scored just 18 runs in 6 games. So, yes, while maybe those decisions weren't the best decisions, maybe where they were the wrong decisions, they're not the root of the problem. The root of the problem is the offense hadn't been scoring.
Dodgers are not hitting.
Yes.
Now, the other night they had 10 hits, but they're not scoring runs. They're not hitting the ball. They're not consistent. That's the problem. They're not consistent. And I've said it all along. Like, I think they're eventually going to start doing it, but eventually is getting to the close where eventually you can't really use the word eventually anymore. Like, we're at a point in the season where it's either let's get it done or we're not going to get it done. They're either going to continue on this long streak of not hitting, and this is just who this team is this year, Casey. I'm at a loss for it. Like, halfway through the season, maybe they'll start. They're going to start hitting, but is this who they are? Sometimes teams are who they are. Is this a team? The Dodgers are having a down year. It's as talented as the roster is, as much money as it was spent. It's still professional sports, and it is hard to repeat as a champion in sports, regardless of what type of talent you have. Let's not forget the Patriots were undefeated going into the Super Bowl and ended up losing the game, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
The Dodgers are the defending world champions. There's not been a lot of back-to-back baseball champions. There's a reason for that. Baseball is a very difficult sport because baseball, sometimes you can take out the money and the contract and the reputation. And like a big word that we're listening to now is these resumes. Resumes only get you so far. You got to go up there and hit the ball. Like, is this a team is this what we're going to see the rest of the season? Are they just not a great team this year?
Yeah, 16 blown lead losses. They've blown 16 leads in the last 52 games coming into today. That's a problem out there, especially whenever and I'll tell you this, part of losing the lead too is the fact that you score early. Like even today, the Dodgers scored 1 run late, but you score 3 or 4 runs early and then don't score again. So you focus on losing those leads because you end up losing that game because you don't score as many runs as you should late. So what are some of the biggest positives that you see? We mentioned Wrobo and Jack Dreyer. What are some of the positives that you see with this team right now that you can move forward with?
That's a loaded question. What are some of the positives? Starting pitching is starting to be great starting pitching, right? But,
yes.
You know what? I'm excited for Mookie. I like the way Mookie's playing. I think Freddie, Ohtani's being Ohtani. I saw somebody say today that Ohtani's carrying the entire Dodger franchise. I don't know if that's the case, but positives, we won.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what else to say. I sit and watch the games as Mr. Positivity, and I have my buddies text and all this stuff, and they've got their opinions, which are great. I'm just Mr. Positive, but like it's been a struggle to be super positive. Like you have to be really positive to get through this stretch. So I don't know. I like the way Mookie's playing. I like that they sat down Pages. I don't really want to go too much into the whole could he have caught the ball, not caught the ball. I thought it was interesting that they sat him. Conforto got some hits today. People don't want to acknowledge that, but that's cool. You know what, Case? We won.
Yeah.
The boys won.
So here's one big positive. I thought after the gut punch of last night, they showed some grit coming back. I think the home run by Ohtani right off the bat helped, and the 5 times he got on base, the 2 home runs by him. But I thought overall the team showed some grit in coming back and winning after what happened last night.
Yeah, think we've both coached a lot of games. You lose a heartbreaking game, and then you have to play the next day. That's incredibly difficult because emotions are involved. And again, my wife always likes to say this, but they make so much money. They make a lot of money, more than we'll ever see in our lifetime, right? But they're still human beings. And they probably didn't sleep well last night. They probably had a tough time in that locker room. Like that would be cool, right? To be in that locker room and to see what was going on in the interaction, to be in that little inner sanctum of what was happening. But to wake up the next morning and to bounce back and get a win in a day game like I was impressed by that. You hit the nail on that. I'm glad you brought that up, the grit. They showed grit today.
Yeah. And a little bit of care factor. I know a lot of people go, well, this team doesn't care about. We know they care. It just in baseball, there's so many games, and when it goes sideways, it's hard to show rah cheerleading excitement, which kind of comes off like sometimes you don't care. But coming into Sunday, to your point, Coach, with the pitching, Actually, and Clayton Kershaw added to this today, the Dodgers have posted the second best ERA in the National League in the last 15 days. Ohtani was good on Friday. Yamamoto was elite yesterday. Clayton Kershaw was great today. So you're still in the situation to where you're going to make the playoffs if it started tomorrow. Yes, you're in the wild card round, but you're hosting the wild card round. So you'd only have to go to Petco Park one time if you play the Padres or whoever it may be. And so you're going to host. You still probably are going to have the best pitching. The pitching is holding up. And you're still in that same boat to go, well, we're just waiting for the offense to show up.
Yeah, and I think they said today, wouldn't it be, it would be the Mets? But it doesn't matter. I mean, you get into the playoffs, you're in the playoffs. I think, yes, the starting pitching is going to be a key factor. And if you can get into the playoffs, the Dodgers are going to have the advantage with the starting pitching. And you know what? Maybe I'll just say, maybe this is just my positive way of life is maybe a reset of, all the averages go back to zero in the playoffs and at-bats are zero because the playoffs start all over again in terms of your stats, right? They're your playoff stats.
Mm-hmm, correct.
I guess if you go back and look at the archives of our Dodgers Daily, I always have said, I just hope the Dodgers can get into the playoffs, and I think they become a different team. I'm going to still hold true to that fact that I think if the Dodgers get into the playoffs, they're a veteran team that has been there. I have no words. If you wanted to say, Coach Barikoff, please explain to me this season, I have no words to explain this season. Right. I go back, Casey, and you said it way back early in the podcast season, if that's what we want to call it. All of these Dodger comebacks are wonderful, but it doesn't bode well.
Right. Why are you having to come back? Yeah.
Yeah, you said something to those lines, like eventually it's going to, come back and get you a little bit. And I'm not saying now we're blowing leads. So, yeah, let's get to the playoffs. We've got the starting pitching that could really flip the switch for us.
Yeah, that's the hat hanger, no doubt. So more positives for me. Michael Conforto, you hit on him. So he had 2 hits today, so he's hitting almost 300 in his last 12 games. He was hitting 270 in his last 11 games coming into today. So I'm going to assume that's somewhere around 300 in his last 12, if not over 300 in his last 12 games. Shohei Ohtani had a breakout game today, 2 home runs. He was on base 5 times. He's literally capable of doing that every single time. I like the fact that he's taking his hits and his walks as well as the home runs. It's not boom or bust for him. Max Muncy and Alex Vesia are returning this week. Tommy Edmonds some close time after that. So there are some positives to look forward to after a win today.
Yeah, it's great to have Muncy coming back. I think he's a good, stable force in that lineup. Edmund comes back, gives you positional depth, and he's probably, he seems like a leader in the clubhouse. So, yeah, there's some really good positive signs. And you know what? I'm going to keep saying it. Conforto, I'm glad he's hitting, dealing with all the nonsense that he's having to deal with. And so, yeah, let's go. We're on to the next series. I mean, we got Colorado. Let's get healthy.
Yeah, let's do it. You ever had a team, though, or a stretch with a good team even, where it just felt like the vibes where we're just waiting to lose? Like we're just waiting for something stupid to happen so we could lose? You ever had a stretch like that?
Unfortunately, I had a team. We were going for our 4th straight national championship. We were number 1 in the country. And the last month of the season, I kept thinking, oh, my goodness, there's something that's going to happen that's going to derail this thing. And sure enough, we got into the Elite 8 and we got absolutely blasted in the Elite 8, and it ended. And I have felt that before. And it's not a good feeling. And I know you have probably too as a baseball coach. It's not a good feeling, and you feel like you're living on borrowed time a little bit.
Yeah, you do. You feel like you have to build such a big lead because everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket down the stretch, right?
Yes. I've been there. It's such an uneasy feeling as if you're the head coach or in baseball, the manager. It's such a bad feeling.
Yeah, so you mentioned the big picture that, of course, Mookie mentioned it today that, hey, we got to make the playoffs first, right?
Yeah.
Which I think the Dodgers are going to because their pitching is too good. But, hell, who knows? I mean, absolutely who knows? So this is kind of all about, okay, well, we mentioned the trust tree, so we need to refine who is going to be on the playoff roster, what the roles are going to be, what the playoff roster is going to look like. So one of the negatives to me, I wrote down positives and negatives right now. And I tried to come up with an equal amount, and I tried to make it to where I wasn't trying to make it an equal amount. I just was hoping there would be. And so one of my negatives was it just feels like, although that's why I'm so excited about Wrobo and Dreyer, it feels like instead of answering questions and getting your playoff roster set and using this time to fine-tune what the playoff roster is going to look like, it just feels like every single day you go out, you're actually adding more questions about the playoff roster. Am I too negative there?
No, I think you're spot on. I mean, we've been so lucky as Dodger fans that right around this time, we're already getting our rotation set for the playoffs and who are we going to rest and what you can't do that now. Like the Dodgers are in like a fight. And as much as we dislike the Padres or don't think this, they're only a game back.
Yeah.
And the Giants are sitting right there too. No, I don't think you're being negative. I think you're being realistic. I mean, I think we have to be realistic with this team. They're not a great, I'm going to say it, they're not a great team. And I mean that by they just aren't firing on all cylinders. It's like, you're talking Ohtani did this and this, but like we need Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, these guys all like consistently doing it. And we haven't
Teo's having a terrible year.
Yeah.
He just is. He's off.
Crazy. Like I wish I was smart enough to go back through social media and find all of the posts of all these Dodger fans that were so excited about this signing. I still love the guy. He's having a rough year, but I love that all these people post all this stuff about, we're so excited. What a great signing. And now he's not playing well. Oh, I can't believe we did this. And how can we sign him? What a terrible Come on, guys. Like, come on. He's not having a good year. I think we know that. It's like you can't go and say one thing and then all of a sudden you can change. You just change your mind. Like he's not a good player all of a sudden. It's
He was one of the first ones I wanted re-signed, as well as Blake Treinen. And to this point in the season, I was completely dead wrong on both of those. We were all excited about Tanner Scott. But Teo Hernandez, his absence this year, just kind of the vibe being off. Part of what he brought last year was that positive vibe, the happy-go-lucky. But he's kind of the mentorship he's given Andy. He kind of gave that entire mentorship to the entire team last year, if you will. Hey, this is the type of mentality we need to have as a team. Yes, it's business. Yes, it's serious, but we're going to do better if we're having fun and smiling and having a good time and treating this as like it's a kid's game, right? So we've gotten none of that from Teo Hernandez this year because it's hard to do when you're not playing defense well, when you're letting balls drop that shouldn't drop, you're not hitting the ball well, you're not hitting home runs. And so a lot of the missing vibe from this team, I think, is Max Muncy hasn't been there. He gives you kind of that dog, if you will, in the middle of the lineup. And then you haven't had your dog mentality with Muncy, and you haven't had your happy-go-lucky fun mentality with Teo Hernandez. And then stack on top of that, because they're not in it and they're not playing well, now the middle of your lineup's been super inconsistent. So it's just been a whole bunch of whammies all at once.
Yeah, it's been a whole bunch of whammies all at once. Now, I mean, I always think, and I could be wrong, Taylor and Barnes, were they that much of a clubhouse staple that they're gone? And Fair point. I don't know. I'm
you
not,
can bring either one of them back. I guarantee you that. You can go get Austin Barnes right now.
Yeah, Casey. I'm not even talking from a production standpoint. I'm just the clubhouse. It's as fans, we think we know everything, me included. I think I know everything that's going on. If I'm positive the Dodgers are going to hit today, right?
Yeah, right.
But we don't know what goes on behind closed doors and what's going on between the guys. Is Teo hurt and he's nursing an injury and he doesn't want to let anybody know? Has he got a family issue going on? Like, you just don't know these things. But all we see is what we see. We don't get to see the inner sanctum of that locker room or what's going on. Is Teo having marriage problems? Is his kid sick? You just don't know these things. And that's why I'm always hesitant as a fan to get on a guy, because I don't know what's going on in his life. I've been in coaching too long for 30 years that, it's funny, a year later you find out a guy was going through something and you had no idea.
Right.
And again, please, Dodger Daily fans, I'm not using this as an excuse why Teo's not hitting. I'm the biggest I would love for him to start hitting. I have not been happy with his defensive, his want out there, if that's what you want to call it. So please don't take it as I'm giving excuses. But, it's just very interesting to me that all of a sudden persona, like you were saying, happy-go-lucky has changed a little bit. So I don't know.
It has. So another part of this team that has really led to his struggles. Will Smith, he did not hit the ball well for a long period of time after being one of the best offensive behind Cal Raleigh offensive catchers in the game, had the highest batting average in the National League for the longest time. He finally starts hitting well again. Then he gets hurt, so his role has been inconsistent. Then Dalton Rushing gets hurt. We're freaking trying to win games with Ben Rortvedt. Hey, standing ovation for Ben Rortvedt today. He blocked the ball. He called good pitches. He got a base hit. Having said that, if Ben Rortvedt is catching games for the Dodgers in September, something went wrong.
I think Ben would say the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
of all the trade deadline moves, he's the one that's having the impact right now. Who would have had that on their bingo card?
No one.
Yeah,
sometimes I feel for the guy. This is where he's all of a sudden he's been thrown in. And you know what? He called a great game the other night. He had two sack bunts or whatever he had.
Yeah.
He's doing the best that he can. And it's but you're right. If you would have had this dude on the bingo card, man, you would have won that $1 billion lottery. That's just what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. So as a coach, and I know we both love Dave, but you got to evaluate what it is. This is big. Put your big boy pants on. This is big boy baseball. You take the Dodgers job knowing if you don't win, you get criticized. If you do win, you win world championships. It's on both sides. So you can't take the trophy and love that part of it and then not be able to take the criticism on the other side. This is high stakes. Don't take the Dodgers job or the Yankees job or the Dallas Cowboys job if you can't if you don't have big boy pants, right?
Yeah.
So this has not been a good team since July 4th, okay? I think we're actually under 500. Evaluate the job Dave Roberts has done, not just in managing the decisions, but managing the team and the cards he's been dealt. I'll be curious to hear your thought here because you love Dave and you're super positive.
Boy, I wish you would have told me before we got on air that you would have given me 10 minutes to think this question through. As a coach, I'm not ever gonna second guess Dave Roberts. I'm not. I've been in the business of coaching for 30 years, and I've been second guessed probably for 30 years. And it's not a good feeling. I think what Dave has done has been. I'm going to say this, and again, I think he's done a very good job. Now, I am confused, and I would love to know the reasoning why Conforto's batting fourth. I would love to know some of those lineup decisions. But I think he's done a good job. There's been a ton of injuries. There's been no stability. There's been guys getting moved around left and right. I think he's done a good job. We're sitting in first place.
Yes.
Right? They've been lacking starting pitching until just recently.
We have the worst record of any first place team in baseball. That's weird.
It's been terrible since the All-Star break. Yes.
Yes.
But Dave is, I think, doing the best. What else? Here's what I'll flip back on you. What else could Dave be doing? What other decisions can Dave do other than the most easy one, the most recent one was the Tanner Scott decision 2 nights in a row or whatever. But what else could Dave be doing that's going to change this season? If you want to go back to the trade deadline and what everybody wanted, we didn't get.
Yes.
I don't think Dave had a decision in that. He didn't have a decision on all the injuries and the pitchers getting moved around. He doesn't have a decision on Muncy being hurt all year long, Kike going down, Edmund going down.
Mookie having a bad year offensively till recently, yeah.
So my question always is, what should Dave be doing? So the easy one's going to be take Conforto out of the lineup. That's going to be the easiest one everybody's going to say. But other than the easy one, what else could Dave Roberts be doing to keep them to be where they're not at, to be better than they are right now? That's my question.
Yeah. Right. And by the way, Oscar Vargas is bringing this point up. So those are easy criticisms on the hoof, but the Dodgers are actually 5-0 when Conforto bats clean up. So those are the kind of the statistics and data that they have that I didn't know. I would have never thought that in those situations. So yeah, it's a tough deal, I think. But I will say, if you're the manager of the Dodgers, this is just part of it that comes with it. You and I would, typically speaking, want to criticize less. But I just was interested in getting your thoughts on that in terms of the way things have gone, because you're a diehard fan, as we all are. But you actually, I grew up in it, and so you kind of feel it, and it's in your soul and that kind of thing.
I'm wearing the bleed blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Casey, I'm serious. When I see all these criticisms, like I saw one today, we would have been so much better with Ryan Ward. Okay, I get his numbers are spectacular for Oklahoma City, but Ryan Ward is not going to be all of a sudden a magician and go up and hit Major League Baseball. He's not. So
what
Ryan
rookie has
Ward
done
was
that since Corey Seager in that group? I mean, with the Dodgers,
Yeah,
it's
Casey,
a tough environment.
I always ask when I see this, what can Dave Roberts do differently? And you said his name was Oscar. Oscar, phenomenal stat.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stat. Conforto, we're undefeated when he bats fourth in cleanup. Like, put that out there for the whole world to see. It's because all I saw was, I can't believe Conforto's batting fourth. And in my mind, you wanted to criticism. I was like, I don't know why Conforto's batting fourth, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know
going
that
along
stat.
with it.
That's
Yeah,
why.
right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, and let's get into this conversation. You kind of hit on it a minute ago. So you're not going to DFA Tanner Scott. You're not going to DFA Kirby Yates, you wouldn't think, right? I mean, so what the hell do you do with these guys? If you don't want them to be in your high leverage situations, what the hell do you do with Tanner Scott?
Can I say something
if you're
controversial?
Dave, what's his role moving forward?
I'm going to say something controversial, and I'm okay to get blasted by that because this is just where my mind is.
Yeah.
You spent all this money, you continue to throw them out there and hope that they get back. Like Oral Hershiser was saying, a guy I trust, he knows a lot more than any of us on this podcast.
Of course, absolutely.
I'm going to keep throwing them out there. That I am hoping that back to this key word that seems like it's the hot topic right now, that resume starts becoming what he is on the mound. That's the only thing I could think of. You spent a lot of money. You went all in on these two guys. You might as well keep using them and hope that they get back out there. Otherwise, I mean, you're not going to DA. Are you kidding me? I would rather go into a playoff game with those guys than somebody else. Mm-hmm. Is that a controversial? Am I so far off base on that? And I'm okay to have people say I am, and I'd like to learn from it. But that's what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to watch as we move forward. But all in this part of it, we have a great down the farm. We got Kyle Hurt, we've got Max Muncy, we've got Tommy Edman, we got Josue De Paula, we got James Tibbs III. We got them all coming up on our Down on the Farm segment here in just a minute. But moving forward, I'm just going to leave it at this. The Dodgers won today. Nothing matters about this season other than what goes forward from today on, right? I mean, we can sit around and dwell about this and that and this and that. The team can't, but there's no reason to do that. The only positive thing you can do here, productive thing you can do here, is try to figure out what you can do moving forward to make this team the team that it wants to be. So you still have Tommy Edman coming back. You still have Alex Vesia coming. By the way, if Alex Vesia was healthy and with LA, guess who would have thrown that Tanner Scott out, right?
Yep. There you go.
That's who would have done it. Okay. That's who would have done it. And he probably would have been successful. By the way, you have Max Muncy, Tommy Edman, Alex Vesia. What do you think about Kyle Hurt? The Dodgers need that big right-hander that can throw the crap out of it, that can get swing and miss at the back end of games in their bullpen. Kyle Hurt's looked good. He's only had 2 rehab outings. It would be a big kind of gamble just because of the experience aspect of it, and he's not very experienced to begin with. What do you think about Kyle Hurt, though, Coach?
Listen, again, controversial. Let's go for it. Like, I like the guy. I mean, what could it hurt to not have him go out and throw an inning in this a 5th or 6th inning to see how he looks and to see what he can give us? And if he doesn't, I mean, I don't know the transition. Can he be put back down or up? I don't know how that all works. But
absolutely he can. Yeah, he has options. He has minor league options.
I know you are a massive fan and you've done a phenomenal job covering this guy, but I mean, look at this guy. I mean, wouldn't this be a great guy to throw it in the 6th inning with a 3-1 lead against Colorado? That's just me, though, talking. I mean, I like the way he looks.
Kind of my point is, if you don't trust Blake Treinen right now, which it's very difficult. I just want to throw up when I say that. When I make the statement, it would be hard to trust Blake Treinen. Okay, although I think the bigger the stakes, the better he would get. I don't trust Kirby Yates at all. So Ben Kasparius is worn out. He's completely worn out. They threw him so much in the first half. He is worn out. They've tried to really just ramp way down his usage in the second half. But you can see, man, he's on fumes. And then not only that, he's on fumes, but then he's kind of rusty because he's not pitching as much. So the Dodgers desperately need a hard-throwing right-hander that can get high leverage outs. And so I'm bringing Kyle Hurd up there. I think Bobby Miller's out, his last outing with AAA Oklahoma City. I think ended any kind of thought of Bobby Miller this year. And maybe Paul Gervais, but he hasn't been pitching as well lately. If you're going to pick from, you DFA'd Alexis Diaz. You let go Julian Fernandez, who had been your best relief pitcher at AAA Oklahoma City all year, which was a head scratcher. So if you're going to get any reinforcement pitching-wise from the right-handed side in the bullpen from Oklahoma City, it would be Kyle Hurd. I would be curious as to what fans would think. I think that would have to mean you'd have to probably it'd be in replacement maybe of Tanner Yates.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see one of these surprise on Monday? Yates or Tanner has a twinge in his elbow and he's going to go a couple days, and then this guy can come, Kyle Hurd can come up. I don't know. I mean, I know Dodgers Daily and you have been very high on Hurt, and I always pay attention to what you post about him and his number. I really like the guy. This would be the time. I mean, I'm looking right now. You've got Colorado for 3, San Francisco. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to throw him against Philly, but you've got San Francisco, Arizona, and then you end with going to Seattle. So this would be the time, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Another guy, Max Muncy. I know you're very excited to get him back. He is a guy that he had a base hit last night. Hasn't looked super impressive. Do you care at all what Max Muncy does with AAA Oklahoma City? Does it matter results at all for you?
For me, no, not at all. Not at all. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm very excited to get him back. And then also we talked about Alex Vesia. I wanted to cover one more guy here. Actually, let's cover 2 more guys, and then I think that's going to do it for today's show because I got a lot to do I want to do tonight and have the rest of my Sunday. We spent all day yesterday buying a Kia Telluride in Wichita, Oklahoma. So I'm wanting to have the evening with my beautiful bride of 26 years. I said 36 years the other day. She's been giving me shit for it ever since. So 26 years, my beautiful bride. This is Tommy Edman. I love those 2 hits, babe, back up the middle. Man, I can't wait to get this little fart back in the lineup.
Yeah, he's just that guy. Like, you just feel good when Tommy Edman is playing. That's just my opinion. He's trusting in terms of his defensive capabilities, and I think he plays better in a bigger game. So, yeah, his clips right here look good. Like, this is really nice to see. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have him back in that lineup. It feels good to have him. It's just a familiar name, too, that we know we can trust. I
am not one that's big on results in a rehab setting because you never know what in the heck they're working on. You don't know what their goals are and that kind of deal. But I'm not going to lie, those 2 base hits got me very excited for Tommy Edman. The last guy we're going to cover tonight, the Great Lakes Loons season is over. Josue De Paula didn't have a great year. I mean, okay for him, especially being as highly ranked as he is. So seeing the year that he had, where did you come down on Josue De Paula this year, Coach?
Oh, man, listen, that's my dude.
Yeah, it is.
You're not going to hear anything bad from me on him. I know there's been some questions about his how much effort he gave a few times in the outfield, but, I mean, wasn't he the MVP of the All-Star, the rookie stuff? Yeah. He's still young.
Hit a home run.
This guy, I can't wait. I can't wait to come on here in a few years and we're talking about, hey, Barikoff was, so enamored by this guy, and you're not going to get anything negative. I think that guy is, I'm even going to say the future of the Dodgers outfield.
Oh, nice. We bring it back here, Coach. Okay, as we bring it back here, we got a couple more minutes. So explain to me why, I went over all of the black dots as far as the negativity surrounding this team right now. But why am I just not in a panic mode, or why am I not worried? Why am I not negative towards this team? Why am I just still in the mode like, hey, I think this team's going to figure it out? Why am I just too why do I feel that way?
Because we're the Dodgers, we're the defending champs. I shouldn't say we, I'm not on the team, but
right.
They're the defending champions. And until someone takes that crown from them, that's why I don't stop believing in this team. There's going to come a point where they're going to actually have to start hitting the baseball, and there's going to be some moments where they're going to have to get the clutch hits. I totally understand that
and they're either are or they aren't. I think that's why I'm relaxed, because that's either going to happen or it's not going to. It's that black and white. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've said it for a long time. Let's get into the playoffs. If we can get into the playoffs, I think this team is going to figure it out. And it's weird to say that. They're going to figure it out after 162 games. But I think the Dodgers just need to get into the playoffs, and I think they're going to ramp it back up. And I think you're going to see a lot of people say, "Wow, I thought all this that we had to go through to get to this point as fans, it's going to pay off." That's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep believing that.
So having said that, do they need to start ramping things up and start building momentum towards the playoffs, or are you good with them just going to the playoffs, just make it, and then flip that switch once they start?
That's a scary thing to say, is to flip a switch. I don't know. I'd like to. I hope they can flip the switch, but I don't know. We've got 3 with Colorado, 3 coming up with San Francisco. I'm looking right now at the schedule. You've got Philly, San Francisco, Arizona, and Seattle. I would like the Dodgers to see a consistent lineup for the rest of this season. It's 3 weeks left.
Throw the same one out there today. It won. It won a game. Yeah. Let's do it again.
Let's see a consistent lineup.
Yes.
Let's have the platoon guys be platoon guys. Let's stay consistent. Let's get ready to make this push to make the playoffs and to have a good seed in the playoffs. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay, so one last question, and I'm great at putting you on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Last 3 outs, it's the bottom of the 9th inning. You have a 1-run lead, basically whatever big lead. It's not Walker Buehler because he's not on the team. You got to, whoever's on the roster right now has got to get 3 outs. Who is Coach Barakoff putting on the mound right now?
I'm going Ohtani.
Oh, Shohei Ohtani. Oh, what? You know what? That would have never even crossed my mind. Leave it to Coach Barakoff to come up with the right answer right there, baby.
I thought about this today.
Love that. That's awesome.
I thought about this today. Like, if he's going to
You
actually
heard that question, you're like, oh, yeah, I got this. You had that cocky smile on your face because you knew exactly where you're going, did you? That's awesome.
I think, do you remember when Ohtani struck out Trout in the World Baseball thing?
Yes.
In my mind today, I had this random thought. I could see Ohtani doing that in a Game 7 in some playoff game that we need, and Ohtani's going to come in and get it done for us. So 3 outs, I'm going Ohtani.
Oh, fantastic. What about Ox Vesia?
Man, Dodger Daily, we're big Vesia fans.
What if they put Tanner Scott out there? You going to throw anything at the TV?
No, Chivity Christmas. Let's go Vesia to get 3 outs in the 8th. We bring Ohtani in to get 3 outs in the 9th, and we celebrate another championship.
That is awesome, Coach. Great show tonight. We got to both run. It's Sunday night in the big town. We got other things to do. So this has been a whole lot of fun. Coach Barakoff, thanks a lot, man.
All right, guys. See ya.